because I just clicked the play button. See if it's working. And if it's not, well, I don't know what to do. Nothing coming up at all. Oh, wait, is it working? We have a connection? Question mark. No, you use whatever you need. Error occurred and not. Well, it says it's playing. Wait, let's see if it's playing. What's going on? Okay.
Okay, so the link for it is on the speaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check if the sound is working, because that was my big question mark. I don't know if I have any kind of sound.
Yep.
So it is? Can it hear me just talking? Oh, wait, is it working? Ooh, it's actually doing a decent job. Okay. The feedback should be fun whenever that gets to actually playing, so the computer can hear. I've got a Google Hangout running. Obviously, it's not useful for you guys since you're here.
There's
But-
a way we can turn off the audio from your feed, though, right?
I was just making sure it was working in the first place.
Okay. I'm just talking about the feedback.
Oh no, she had it on just briefly just to check.
Okay.
So long as no, you can mute the audio or whatever. Okay. So yeah, I guess this is working. We can start talking about stuff if that's if everybody's down. I don't have a whole heck of a lot to talk about this week in terms of just like administration stuff and just like what I've been up to and those sorts of things. Still in talks with the lawyer guy. He's writing things, and we'll get that settled as it comes around, whenever it is. Yeah.
Did he give you like an estimate of?
An estimate of when?
Yeah.
He's in China right now for a couple of days, or has been for a few days, I should say. So he's writing. He said he was about halfway through email like a day or two ago, something like that.
Okay.
And I just got back to him today, answering a couple of questions that he was asking about, like how many people are here, what kind of arrangements they wanted to make, and that sort of stuff. Again, like I said, I'll do more of that whenever I get more emails from him to have more things to do that with. So yeah, there's not a whole lot in terms of that. Mostly we just need to kind of figure out what's going on, who's doing what, where we're doing it, not where we're doing it. You know what I mean? The rest of that. So what I want to do is kind of show some stuff on Trello, since there's not that many people that are signed up or in the correct places. So I want to kind of show how to get to the correct places, how to get everybody set up, and then we can kind of go from there in terms of who's doing what and that sort of thing. Also for you YouTube people, or whatever, however you're watching this, we have some drilling that might be happening here in a few minutes, so if it starts to get loud and you can't hear anything, I apologize. We'll try to work with it. Yeah, I can go back through and kind of, we'll post notes and stuff, so we'll figure something. Something will be arranged. Go away. Okay, so screen share. I should be recording my screen here in just a moment. Share. Yes. Share my screen. Oh God, I'm staring into infinity. Okay, that's fun.
Yay!
It's recording the screen. That's recording the screen. That's recording the screen. That's recording the screen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have a Mise on Beam. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. I'll stop. I'm gonna stop. Okay. So.
I don't even understand how you actually CPU can like deal with it, but
Go away. Go away. Go away. Okay. So I'm going to change the display so that my projector's actually showing the same thing that everything else is. No, wait. Actually, I want that. I want to duplicate. Apply. Okay, so projector is now projecting. joining the same thing that was already? Okay, is it back? Are we good? Yes, hopefully. God, I apologize to everyone involved in this. Okay, so there we go, staring into infinity again, and now everyone can see it. Okay, so this is the Trello page everyone's kind of familiar with thus far, yes?
Yes.
So these are the two games that we have that we are currently filing as doing. However, there is nothing on this. This is literally just the pitches, so like that's just the basic information of what the game is. Not particularly helpful. What is helpful is if you go up here to the boards, on the top left, it says boards, and you go down and have the game makers thing, and then you have 3 tabs right here. These are 3 actual boards for the games that we're working on. So you have the game pitches, which is what we've been looking at thus far, but we also have the shooter and swap master, both with their own boards. So you bring up here, and then you see an actual to-do list, and then what's getting done, and then what's already done within those games. So this is how we're going to be working within Trello, if that makes sense. And does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, top left, go to boards, and you should have a pull-down tab that shows you the other things on there. If you don't, let me know, because I honestly don't know what this whole thing looks like to you guys, seeing as I'm the admin and you guys aren't.
It definitely didn't look like that.
We can go to game makers and
Yeah.
then.
Oh, okay. So you have to go.
Join the card or the board in order to be able to see it.
Okay, okay. So you have to actually go to the CalArts Game Makers group itself,
Yeah, you go
and
to the
then.
CalArts group and then go to which group and then you can join each board here.
Okay, so hopefully audio is still recording and we find that. You have to go to the CalArts Game Makers group, and then does it show up like this?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you go here and you
Yeah, it'll
join
show up
it.
in other until you join it and then it'll
Okay.
apply.
Okay, so it'll show up here and then.
Right.
Okay, that works. Either way, so join the boards that are appropriate to whatever it is you're doing. So yeah, whatever it is you're working on. So like for my shooter idea game thing, me and Ness have both been working on some basic stuff, at least to some degree or other. And we've got a few things in the doing pile, several things in the to-do, and then reference material. We have a VizDev Bible already kind of made on Pinterest.
And I do have like a very early demo show.
Okay, great.
I don't know when that would be appropriate. I have it on a flash drive or on my computer. I don't know what will be easier to show.
I'm already broadcasting on my computer, so probably flash drive.
Yeah.
And I've got Unity and everything, so we can just load that or whatever you're working on. So yeah, Nessa's got stuff we can show, and yeah, great. I've also got a very crappy basic level kind of plotted out, as it were. It's really just kind of a test, I think, for now. I don't know if it's actually going to be functional in any realistic way. But for now, like I said, just make sure everybody's signed up onto your appropriate boards. So once again, go to the CalArts Game Makers page, however you want to find that page, and add yourself as a member to the boards that you are looking at. I don't know if it's, I don't think I'm going to have any kind of option since I'm already a member of all the boards, but it should be relatively clear. It should be something like a pull-down tab that says add members, or like these, you go to members, go to member there and add yourself. So that's the next thing. Whatever it is you're doing, add yourself as a member to that card. So I've got on my game here, the damage system needs to get developed, which Ness is working on. The HUD needs to get designed, which Tam is her name, is offering to do. The ships need to get designed, and Val, I think, mentioned that she was kind of looking at doing stuff like that, but we don't have anybody officially signed up for those things. So officially sign up would be great. And same thing with, yeah, by all means. And same thing with the designing the environments. So the environments is probably going to be the largest, seeing as they're physically the largest. Yeah, and like I said, just find your tab, and if you think of anything that we need, let us know. And obviously, as we go through and make stuff, we'll figure out, oh, we're missing stuff. Yes, yes.
Will you change the name of swap to sorting?
Is that an official name change? Or are we actually sorting it?
Yes.
Because
Oh.
that's what Trevor originally meant to type, and then he just kept typing it wrong for some reason.
Okay, so I'm changing the name of Swap Master to Sorting Master, because apparently that is a
Because you're
thing.
not swapping, you're sorting.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
You're really good at sorting.
You're really good at sorting things, not necessarily swapping things. Okay, okay. That's good. And we still need a name for my shooter, because I'm bad at names, obviously, because I called this group the Game Makers of CalArts. Like, how uncreative is that? Also, anybody, if you have a name for this group, please, God, let me know.
I like Game Makers because it's
Really?
it gives you the info you need.
Okay, okay, I just...
There's no question about what we're doing here.
Okay, okay.
When you talk about the club, you instantly know what it's for.
All right. I guess we can keep the awkward game makers, whatever. Okay, so yeah, never scratch that last thing that I just said. Is there any questions about the Trello thing? Like, is that fairly clear as to how that's going to be working? Yes, just.
Maybe we should do something like make like an alerts to-do list for everybody, and something on the list should be like, make sure you sign up for whatever parts of the whatever you want to contribute to, because I don't, for some reason, it seems like.
Well, where would we put that? Is my problem or question.
Do you think we should have to do more of this, like, general stuff about the club?
Well, like, we have the pitches board. I could just rename that to be like general, because everybody's already signed up to that one, because I manually put everybody there. So if we need like a spot to do general things, yeah, that
I
might
guess I'm
be.
just thinking it's like there's the Facebook page and the Trello now, and it'd probably be best if people could go to like one place where there's, you know, if they
Kind
have
of
a meeting or whatever, if there's obvious stuff they need to like.
That could
look
make
at.
sense. Yeah, that would
I
make
don't
sense
know.
for organization.
I mean, my suggestion isn't necessarily like the best way to address that, but I can definitely.
Still, that would help just to have something on, even if it is just Trello, since we're already
Yeah.
using that and
Because if
signed
you
up
make
for
like
it.
an update on Facebook or whatever, it very quickly starts sort of like getting drowned out by other people's comments.
Yeah. So okay, I can do that. We'll add some stuff to the. I guess I'll just rename it from CalArts or from games pitches to just kind of general club things, and I'll put different. What are these actually called? The little like. Oh, lists. Okay, I'll add different lists. I guess that was a pretty obvious name for that. So I'll add different lists, and they'll have lists of things that we need done or are doing or
Are you
that
talking
sort of
about
crap.
cards now?
The cards are on the list, so like the to-do column is a list. That was what I was just kind of like wondering what the name of that was, and feeling foolish whenever I realized that it's literally just called a list. I mean, what else would it be called?
And this list.
It's a list of things. Like, what else would it be called? So anyway, yeah. So I'll do that and do that later because I'm not going to sit here and do that right now. Okay. Ooh, somebody made it purple. Why did somebody make it purple? Okay, whatever. So yeah, get signed up and figure out what we're doing, or figure out what you're doing, I should say. So. Trevor's going to use a style Bible. I assume Trevor's going to be the one doing that, seeing as he's in charge of that game. But we need like UI designs. We need background art of some kind. But again, that'll probably be based on the style Bible, I imagine.
I feel like we kind of need to know more about what the vision for this game is.
Right. He has that Google Drive thing. Yeah, I couldn't get into it. Could any of you? Nobody. Couldn't get in. Had to request permission, and I couldn't get in either. So we'll have to sort that out with him. Get it sorting out? Okay, I'll stop. So for mine, I'm sorry, that was bad. So for mine, anybody that wants to work on that, obviously I'm right here. Ask me questions, and I will answer them to the best of my ability for what I know about them. I have a VizDev Bible, which I guess we can kind of briefly look at, and I'll kind of talk about for a minute. I got it on Pinterest, so it's convenient, or as convenient as Pinterest gets with this giant pile of random images. So what I'm looking at for it is kind of a visually something like an 80s like retro sci-fi sort of situation, with kind of a look at F-Zero for the visuals for it. So, something very 80s looking. Everything, like all the vehicles are going to be very, or ideally going to be very, like motorcycle-esque, or
like a flashy minimal sort of thing.
Yeah, sort of, with a little less Tron. I don't want to go total Tron, but kind of like I pulled up this. So like this is kind of a decent, like it actually has color to it. It's not just black with giant shiny things all over the place, but it still has shiny things, and I like shiny things.
Flat color, so no like wear and tear and texture and stuff.
I'm not sure in terms of the wear and tear and texture, because like I've got this GIF here which kind of does a decent job, and it's kind of in between the two, so it has a little bit of texture with a little bit of the straight up Tron colors.
That's low poly. Everything.
Ideally, we're going to be low poly regardless, just because time, and I don't want to sit there and make all the details. Same thing with color.
It's not just about details. You want something with space.
Right. You want something you can read very quickly. So, in terms of color, I actually didn't post this. Boogie Boy, come here. Come to me. Let's just look at Boogie Boy. This is a game that's made by Leo Ogawa, who was a student here up to recently. He's working with Goon Studios, and they were making this recently. Leo did some really cool stuff with the visuals for this, or for the color, I should say more specifically, because that's kind of directly what I'm referencing. Actually, let me see if I can find Leo Ogawa's blog. He breaks it down. Boogie Boy. Yes, how to create vector 3D graphics looking 3D or something. I'm not sure if I read that correctly. Anyway, okay, are there any direct? Okay, that's sort of really. Come on, oh, no. Click. Okay, so the colors are as this. If you can see that, it's a tangled mess. If you're familiar with 3D, it makes a little bit more sense. The different chunks of geometry are all kind of plastered onto this in certain spots. But the colors are just squares, like just giant blocks of color, and then the UVs are moved into the appropriate spots on the squares. Makes it very simple, makes it very visually easy to see, also makes it very quick to produce. So that's kind of what I would like to do. Something just flat color. The detail would be literally kind of added on with the geometry as we need it, wherever we need it. So something like that with, where did it go? With racers kind of like, the after a motorcycle, or like
Just like a hero.
like, this is sort of F-Zero-esque, but like some racers that are sort of like this stuff, where they're relatively simple in terms of shapes, and we just kind of add in color. Like that would be very easy to just one solid color here, one solid color for the rest of this, and a couple of little white stripes, stuff like that. So very simple in terms of where the color and the design, everything is, and then just interesting shapes more than anything else.
I thought it was A1 already.
No, sorry. So yeah, and I posted this as kind of like something kind of similar, so that you get just very simple visuals, very simple colors, just solid blocks of big chunks of color, and then nothing else. That's kind of what I'm thinking of in terms of visuals for the ships themselves. Just very simple, very easy, very quick to see, just so you can kind of read everything.
So that's pretty flat, but it's definitely got like more in terms of
This,
texturing on it.
like this right here, yeah, these are all definitely hand painted, and there's a lot more detail with that. That's not
You would want,
necessarily,
like, that sort of
yeah,
thing.
that's not necessarily where I want to go. I was just posting this mainly for the color use. So like you get the big chunk of red versus the big chunk of green versus like yellow.
Baked into ambient occlusion, just for like.
Yeah.
I think that'd be.
Yeah.
It really.
Yeah, so some ambient could be something that we can work with, but that's all like detail down the road. It's for now, just something very simple is kind of the idea of what I'm going for, and then we'll decide the exact lighting later.
Out of curiosity, is the 64 R-Wing too low poly?
The R-Wing is about right, I would say. So it's in that general area, at least. I don't have like an exact poly count that I'm looking for these things, just kind of low poly, simple color. That's
It's like Nintendo 64 level.
Nintendo 64 level of low poly, because we're new at this and we don't necessarily know what we're doing directly, so let's keep it as simple as possible.
The hard surface stuff is probably less, but
Mhm.
Nintendo 64 is like a little too low for me. I would say between 2,000 and half.
It'll be functionally low poly, regardless of what we do. So you can get quite a bit of mileage out of really, really low poly stuff, depending on the style you're using. So, like I said, I don't have a number that I'm going to throw out there right now in terms of what we need. But like these things are really, really low poly. I don't know their poly count. I honestly, for my purposes, don't care right now. But like if we could get ships that are similarly low poly, like say these shapes don't necessarily work, but if they're longer, obviously they would have more polygons, but they would still be just as simple. You know, that's what I'm looking for. Just something as simple as this, regardless of the poly count, because like the poly count isn't going to kill us in terms of processing speed if we're just putting this on a computer, which is the easiest place to put it out there. So why not just do that for now? So yeah, poly count will come later. We'll figure that out once we have kind of a better idea, and then go from there. Oh, and environments. I have, where are we going? So I've looked up, so obviously Ender's Game is a good example. There's like Space Arena, so Space Arena. I have another picture here, Ender's Game. You know, you kind of get the idea, just big open space with some stuff kind of floating around. And then I pulled up, this is Legend of Korra, their pro-bending arena thing, which is a big open space. Looks a little bit grungy and still has kind of a futuristic sort of sci-fi look almost, in a way, if that makes sense. So it kind of looks like a boxing ring. It kind of looks like something that doesn't necessarily belong on Earth as it is now, so it kind of gives it a sci-fi edge to it. But it's still, you know, very simple, very open, very easy to digest visually. So that's sort of what I'm thinking of. And plus, it's very sports-oriented, so you see all the lights in the background, and that'll probably be something that we'll need to do. Same thing with the Ender's Game thing. There's a lot of lights everywhere. Just closed in. What I have, the level design that I have, just to kind of play, I'll just show it. Where did I put it? That is the question. Wait, I have it on Sketchfab, I think. Why am I not already logged in? I could type. Now everybody gets to see my email. Yay! You don't get to see my password. Hell, even I don't know my password, apparently. Ah! Too many passwords. Okay, I don't know what my password is. Log in with Google. I don't really. I don't have a. Hold on. I think I sent it to myself. Hell, fuck it. I'm just gonna bring it up on my hard drive. Give me a moment. Excuse the technical difficulties, also known as I'm a dumbass.
Hey Nathan, you got a charge of the visual style? Or is it?
I have no one signed up for that yet. Yeah. I have the VizDev Bible, and that's as far as we've gotten thus far.
Probably have to choose some.
I'm sure.
Join it, because this is the style that I'm really into.
Okay.
Try to put out some sketches.
Sure.
Which one is this again? Because you have spaceships. Is that,
This is my shooter. This is my game as opposed to Trevor's. The 360 like all-directional boxing match shooter thing.
okay, I was just like, you're saying arena, but you're also saying spaceship. So
Mhm.
are you in like a human size? Vehicle size?
The idea, yeah, is like a very exposed sort of like motorcycle almost feel to the ships, but like basically it's like as simple as a spaceship as you can get, with just like one person sitting inside with very little protection kind of around them.
Alright.
For these spaceship designs, were you envisioning seeing the pilots?
That would require extra modeling, so I'm assuming not.
Cool.
Just
but-
get some.
Yeah, so I kind of posted like this as kind of a thought. So it's like it's sort of like this, where it's just a motorcycle with a dude, but I do want it more enclosed, so we don't necessarily have to model the dude. Hence this. So you get like you could fit one person inside of that. It looks like. Now maybe this is enormous and can fit 27 people. I don't know, but the look of it looks like one dude could fit in it, and that's what I want.
So it's like a hot house.
Sort of. Yeah. I ship is not exactly the right term. because it's supposed to look more like a racing thing, kind of like this does. Yeah, that's just kind of my general, and then like a motorcycle sort of thing, also inspiration. I don't have an exact ship design that's in mind. I just kind of want to play off of what's here. And then, yeah, either I can design or whoever wants to sit here and be my viz dev person can do so. Yeah, so excuse me while I try to find that level design thing. Do I have game group 1? Yes. Oh, where would it be? Scenes? Question mark? Nope. Assets. Really? Open it in Maya. I have Maya right over there. Wait, or was it test level? Which one came later? Okay.
Here's a question about spaceship design.
Sure.
Are these ships more sponsored and built by companies, or are they more hot rod-ish
Huh.
by individuals?
Hadn't thought of that. I would assume probably a mix between the two, just kind of my mentality for it. So like you would have that guy who just really loves his car, but then you also have that guy who just like, he's there to make money. So.
The thing is, like, you know, why not choose sponsors?
Mhm.
Like, kind of forces to follow the same path. Like, branding. There's a mention of branding.
Mhm.
Would be something or something? Or anyone has like.
It could be. It could be. It's probably something we won't run into just for getting the mechanics and getting like a basic concept done in a month. But yeah, it could be something that would. We could do like actual going through and making it like actual companies, and you can have a mechanic involved in that. You can like get different money and buy different things based on that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's a little complex for what we're doing so far. So
But also, like,
we'll approach that later.
Since this is a ship in space, I would think it doesn't have to be aerodynamic.
Well, it's going to be in an arena more than in space. So there would be air, and there would be like resistance to air and those sorts of things within it. There could be arenas that don't have those things. There could be arenas that are much more open and actually in space. But yeah, so they'll need to be designed for both, I think.
I was just thinking, like, because you said it was 0G, right?
Yes. Yes.
Because in which case, then it's not a huge. I mean, of course, there's air in there, but it's not a huge deal. Just the way it operates in space is a lot different.
Right. Oh, don't tell me that there's errors on the. Okay. Nothing is working properly.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to open my own my level that I had done up. If it doesn't work, I'll just post this onto the group and everybody can see it in Sketchfab as I'd intended it in the first place. Where am I going? Game group. Too many projects. Okay, hold on. One more try and then I give up. Open this. Okay, a level loaded, guys. Everybody celebrate. Yay! What? Hold on. Need mouse. Need mouse desperately. Come to mouse. Okay. So this is kind of what I have blocked in for a level. Yeah, so just interior of a sphere, if any of this navigation thus far makes any sense. So interior of a sphere with some, here, I'll just zoom out to really, and the levels are gone. Ah. Separate. Go away. Go away. Okay. So that is the exterior shot of what I was just flying around in. Does that make a little bit more sense, hopefully? So as you're inside of it, you get this large kind of arena space with 4 exits, or with exits at every corner. Exits above and beyond, and you have like a little trough you can kind of hide in. I'm thinking of having that closed off with like some sort of grating, if that makes sense, or like a fence, whatever, chicken wire, whatever.
So those like where the combatants come in from?
Basically, but there's also kind of like this is outside of that, so you have the interior space here that you'd be flying around in, and then you would use those ducts, those entrances, those big holes, to kind of fly out into this area. And then that's all closed in.
So there's an arena within.
Yes, exactly. Let me see if I can backface help.
Second layer?
See, that makes sense? That makes a little more
I was
sense?
going to be very sad if like both of them to come around.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's exactly what this is. You have like a space out here that's a little bit more difficult to travel, and then a big space on the interior to kind of fly around in. The scale on this is not necessarily final. This is just kind of like blocking in an idea.
Feels a little bit double deck.
Double?
Mario Kart 64.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess sort of. Yeah, sort of Mario Kart double
Just
deck.
a little.
A little.
Separated areas.
Yeah, so kind of in that vein. So yeah, something like that.
I imagine playing this a lot like I played that level.
Yeah,
Having
I would.
someone dropping to the hole.
Yeah, that was kind of my idea. So quick shoots to go in from each corner. You have a quick access to get away from them, kind of hide it and pop out again. And same thing with those little troughs on the side. This whole area here, that they would all be closed off, at least semi-closed off, so you can try like duck into them, like duck into the side, kind of like the So you can either go in straight, go through there, or take a right or left or up or down or whatnot, and probably knows. So that's just kind of a basic blocking in sort of level that I've got thus far. Obviously, I have no idea if this is going to work. I have no idea if this is even fun to play. I have no idea anything.
You can get lost.
Right.
There's more players, it's fun.
Right, and even with it being one-on-one, you do have at least a big central area, so that if you do get lost, it's kind of easy to find your way back. Because that's kind of my thinking for it. So hopefully it'll work. Either way, it's something to play with. We can just import this into Unity right now and play with it. So I guess that's my next thing that I want to point out is the interface for Unity. Seeing as I guess most of the people here today have played with Unity. So yeah, almost 2 of you, I think. Just you 2, I think, are the only ones that haven't. That's
I'm gonna
weird.
get on that.
No, I mean nothing against you. Just like just odd coincidence. I think you 2 happen to be the only ones. But for those who have not, let me just new scene just to show. So Unity's very, very simple to work with. So I've got the OBJ here of that level, which is just the file for that level. It contains the information for that. So to import that into Unity is as simple as you can possibly make it. Yep. Go away. Over there? Nope. And just because I said that, it's biting me. Where did that end up? I just put into... Okay, there we go. Test level. Ta-da! It's in Unity. And it is literally as simple as that. So every ship that we make, every item that we make, everything that we make, we can just drag and drop it into Unity very quickly. So you can work with whatever program you want to make, and when you want to make it in. However you want to work is pretty much okay. And then we'll make arrangements afterwards to get it all sorted through, as it were. I don't know. I've been thinking. Let me just run this by you guys. Ask what your opinions are. Having someone in charge of working Unity itself, kind of compiling all the different objects and assets and things that we have, to kind of just keep it all into one file, keep it all kind of organized there, as opposed to everyone trying to access a single Unity file and doing whatever it is they're working on and putting it into place and that sort of thing. To have like,
CalArts server?
huh?
Done in CalArts servers or online servers?
Done on Dropbox or Google Drive or whatever kind of thing is most convenient, and then stored onto the CalArts server so that we all have some access to it. So like it can go into my public folder for my account. I usually don't use my my space all that much.
I'm pretty good at organizing stuff. Vince also likes organizing things.
Oh, that's true. Vince did offer to help. That might be a really good option.
Yeah,
I didn't think of that.
That's his like favorite thing.
Yeah, he really loves that sort of stuff. So yeah, that might be. Yeah, you two can totally do it if you wanna ask him about that. That'd probably be a really good idea. That'd be great.
Sorry, I can't contribute further.
No, that's fine. Like whatever level of contribution anybody wants to make is more than welcome here. So if you want to run that, perfect. So that'll keep me from having to run all of that, and that'll give you a nice easy job to work with, so you can still work on your game and do what you want to do, still helping out with us. That'd be ideal, I think.
Perfect. Yeah.
So yeah, let's do that. So Alex will take care of organizing the Unity just to put everything into place, get everything settled, and then we'll kind of hand off, or keep our files in a space such that they can be moved over. Obviously, the programming stuff will probably stay within you guys, and we can kind of move that in as we have a build. We'll move the build over to public space. I think that makes sense. But yeah, so yeah. So yeah, as mentioned, that's Unity in the basic sense. So for all of us who have not used Unity, all the artists that want to work on it, because we have 40 freaking members in this group, and that's insane. We can all just work independently and then drag and drop our stuff in, and it will work visually. And then we'll sort out the animations and all that stuff as we need them, if we need them, where we need them. Ideally, with my game, there's not going to be much animation. That's what I did that on purpose, because I think all we're really going to need is the ships to move and little lights to show in their back to make it look like they have jet engines. Yay! Little tiny lights that are probably not even going to be real lights. True, but simplified animation. So that'll be pretty, I hope, pretty easy to get in. Theo, thoughts?
No, I'm thinking, no, you can actually do something really nice with lights that can still stay light. But I think some nice effects. You can actually maybe play with that rather than just use just sprites that pulsates.
So, I mean, we'll figure out something that's going to work visually. Obviously, I think none of us are going to settle for something that won't. So, and yeah, I will probably be consulting you a lot when it comes to that, because, Teo, you know your lighting. So, but either way, we'll figure out something there. Animation should be light on this whole project, I think, hopefully. God, please. And yeah, and beyond that, it's just going to be like the user interface stuff, which we will need somebody specifically for, I think, which, Taylor, if you want to, you're more than welcome. For the user interface. I know Tam wants to work on that, so she's more than welcome to help. You know her?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Oh, okay, great. Yeah. So maybe you two can work together on that. Maybe that can be a thing.
Works at ID Tech.
Okay.
Which is a tech camp teaching kids game design.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool.
She's really into game design.
Well, she seemed really into
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyway. Well, no! Okay. Okay.
Not as good as camera-facing monitor feedback. Anything in between.
That's true. That's true.
Really good.
But still fun. At any rate. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here for the visuals. You can all kind of just look through I pinned this on the Trello board, so it's all available for people to look at. And yeah, take a look through it, get your ideas there, and we'll sort that out. And same thing, we're going to have to do the same thing for the sorting out master. I made another bad joke. I'm sorry. So
You want to get what I have?
yes, perfect. Yes, let's look at what you have so far. Yay, Ness. Thank you.
It might take us 1 minute to copy over.
That's fine.
So, I don't know if you
Everything
have
I think is
anything.
taking at least a minute. That's how it works. So, anybody know any good campfire songs while we wait? That's a joke. God, please nobody start singing. God, please.
It's a bit pin rate, but that's
Oh, no.
you would.
He would. He would.
Any ideal location for me to put this? Is the
I've got a
desk?
documents Unity folder. You can
Okay.
shove it into there.
I always
So
forget
Nathan,
how to
you want
do things in Windows. It's like,
they've got a new
oh, okay,
folder
there we go.
already.
Yeah.
So, just documents. There we go. Sorry.
You want the fighters to kind of feel unique, right? Like they're all
Yeah.
boxers with their different styles.
Yes, that's kind of the idea.
Cool. I have some ideas.
Okay. Yeah, you're more than welcome to.
I've already come up with a design that I want to play against.
Well, there you go. And ideally, I think for this game, we're only going to be doing like probably 2 ships for now, just because we're doing this in a month and we need to just run and get stuff done. So just a couple of ships, for now. And then if we have extra artists who want to work on extra concepts of extra ships and want to model extra ships,
Well,
and do that sort
it
of
would be
great.
modeling ships. You probably want a bunch of concepts we can pick.
Oh, no, concept, yeah, get as many concepts as we possibly can. But just like, we'll have a couple of models to start off with, and then if somebody on the group wants to make more models, because like, oh, I really like these ships, and I really want to make them because they're cool, great. But
Should I save your changes?
this is a BS project, so
Okay.
no. This is still within my own game project, so even ideally, no. I don't want to add extra things to the game that I'm working on if I don't have to. God.
So, this is sort of what I have so far. Very basic ship movement. Strafe, you can go forwards, you can go backwards, you can roll.
Nice!
And
A little bit of light going there.
yeah,
That's nice.
if you're smooth, you can do little 360s in the hallway. And
Yeah.
obviously, I haven't really done any level design. It's just sort of a hallway in a room, because I thought I'd leave that to you. But
Oh no!
there we go.
Do you have the physics working? Like,
Not quite. It's like a lot of times you'll just like pass right through the wall, but like it'll work if you it'll work if you sort of like hit it really really gently. Like yeah, there we go. But I need to work on that.
It's good.
Yeah.
You have no terrain. No, you should actually that movement.
It's funny because it's actually tearing on this screen, but it's not tearing over there.
Okay.
So and it doesn't tear on my desktop at home. But I had an issue where I was using update instead of fixed update for my like mouse look, and that fixed it. Changing it to fixed update. Yeah. So that's pretty much all I have right now. I have a very mock-up of a weapon. Yeah.
Okay.
So it doesn't really do anything right now.
Yeah,
But
but hey, it's functional.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, that's exactly what I wanted it to feel like. So
cool. And I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I'll take a spin.
Give us a 5.
Yeah. How many levels? Honestly, just for testing purposes, since again, doing it in a month, probably just the one, just to have something running. And then afterwards, if we decide, ooh, I like that turning. Not so much the clipping. Oh yeah, okay. I actually really like these controls once I actually got it out and kind of moved around a little bit. That's it.
And all of the like parameters for like how quickly you can turn and how fast your ship moves. So
Everything is
everything's broken
probably
out.
sweet. I don't know how to get back inside, but let me in. Okay. Anyway, it feels good. I like this. This, yeah, I could definitely get into this. Yeah. So good start. Great. Yes. Yay! Good job. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Code Monkey Slave.
Where's how do I eject?
Oh,
Is it over here? Yeah. It's funny. I work on a Windows desktop at home, but it's like everything's on the side for you.
Sorry, I like my side start bar. So, yeah, I don't know that there's anything else to show with that game. And not really much else to show with the sorting game either, because Trevor's not here, and he will sort that out. I'm sorry, I need to stop.
Did you do that one on purpose?
I did all of them on purpose. I just feel like a bad person.
Terrible.
I am terrible.
I think, yeah, I think once Trevor gets to it, it's mostly just going to be a matter of what categories things
Right.
are going to be in,
Right.
and then we just start making.
and kind of like general sort of story points, because I think the idea is to go in through this person's life, just to kind of
I
sorting
probably
out
end up
toys.
seeing Trevor more than anybody else because
That makes
I live
sense.
with his girlfriend.
Yes, pester him,
Maybe
bug him.
I can give him stuff to present at the meeting,
Mhm.
or rather, he can give me stuff to present at the meeting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll talk to him about that.
Okay.
And tell him to fix his. I don't know what he's trying to do with that document. I
yeah.
know he said he worked hard on it, but obviously we can't see it.
I'm still broadcasting. Look at my face, everyone. At my face. Ah! Okay. So I think, like, are there any questions or any comments on what we've kind of showed off today or talked about today? Any other further offers for free labor, that sort of stuff?
I'd like to help with the modeling.
If they do.
Maybe
Great.
design.
I want to know more about the
Great.
sorting master.
Yes, we need to know more about the sorting master, but the sorting master is not here.
Supposedly, there's a lot of information.
Hidden away in that,
Yeah.
in that Google vault.
We have
Yes.
to figure out how
Tucked.
to access it.
Tucked away. Curse you, Google Drive. But aside from the questions we cannot answer, for they are hidden away from us, anything else there? Me making weird faces all over the internet. Sorry? Yeah, at 5:30. So
Oh.
we've got about a half hour before that happens.
I guess if anyone wants to play or demo or build that
That could work.
we can do that.
We can fill time with that. But in terms of official meeting stuff, while we're still here and I'm still broadcasting, any questions? No? Nothing? Okay. YouTube people, if you have any questions, if there's anything else that isn't covered or whatever else, post it. Facebook. We have Facebook or Trello or something. Communicate
How
in
do
some
you
way.
see who's in the thing?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
How do you see who's watching the
Oh, I assume honestly nobody's watching, but it's going to go to YouTube right after I click. What is that? Stop broadcast.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
That's terrifying.
Slightly. You're not the one on screen. Okay, I'm going to click stop broadcast now because I think we're stop broadcasting. Yay!
I'm voting for this as my favorite